Well, I think that's the Wonder right there. No, that's MSC. That's an MSC ship. The Wonder is supposed to be in port here somewhere. We just got off the Vision in Barcelona after a disastrous turnaround process. Had to be in the Masquerade Theater at 8 o'clock to do our wellness check. Finally, about 9 o'clock, they gave us some information, and about 10 o'clock they told us to stand up and walk out, and we ended up going to the check-in here in the terminal. It's now 10, got through that and immigration. It's now 10:30 almost, and we're finally able to get out and visit Barcelona. So I guess I can take this mask off out of the terminal. But I'm really surprised at Royal Caribbean. That was the worst thing I've experienced on cruising with them. And there was a strong letter to follow. But anyway, we're on our way to Las Ramblas. I think I said that right, Mike? Las Ramblas?
Las Ramblas, yeah. That's LAS Ramblas. Yeah.
And
Spanish accent.
Gonna try to have a cerveza, por favor. So, anyway, bad start to our Mediterranean cruise, but it'll get better. Continuing on with our back-to-back transatlantic and Mediterranean cruises, we start on the Med portion, where we visit Sète and Toulon, France, Ajaccio, Corsica, Mallorca, Ibiza, Cartagena, and Valencia, Spain, before returning to Barcelona. As you'll see, at all the ports, we conducted our own self-guided tours. The weather was beautiful, the people were friendly, and the scenery was outstanding. We had a great time. Day one of the cruise pulled into Sète, France. In the harbor now. Just going to get off today about 9:30 and stroll around. Mark and Elisa are taking a tour, some 8-hour drive to some medieval city. This is the place where Louis XIV built the canal, I guess. I'm just going to go out and walk around and see the town. Just a gorgeous day. There's the canal that Henry XIV had dug. We're stopped by a drawbridge. Don't get in front of those boys. The cruise ship provided a bus to get us to the port terminal, which is just a short distance away. Got off and got held up by the drawbridge. Oh, a le cheese.
What's that in?
A le baps. Le Toscan, Le Chicken. I thought that was polo, or is that Spanish?
Was it in the Tarantino film when
Poulet's chicken?
Yeah.
Poulet.
No, but in what's it called? My brain's gone.
Well, we know that.
I can't remember the name of the famous film. Quentin Tarantino. Anyway. Because the guy comes back and I even forgot the name of who was in Greece, the man. John Travolta was a hit fiction. Pulp Fiction. That's it.
I don't know if this is another canal. I don't know which one was Henry's canal, and the other one was just a newer. But there's the La Grande Hotel. So for 180,000 euros, you could have a 300 square foot apartment here on the canal, or 223 euros for, I don't see a size though. Anyway, one of these guys, probably with the real estate signs on them over there, I guess. You too could live on the La Canal. Okay, so this is the Canal de Sète, the ancient Canal Royal, La Marine. This is the one that Henry dug, or had dug. Henry didn't dig it. And that connects, what's the beach? said Bulgaria. Anyway, connects that with the Mediterranean.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, now we've had our history lesson for the day. And that was in 1660?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Quite a way.
Good thing I just read that. I think this is the city center. I'm still trying to find this church.
Wander in and we'll have to look at all the shops later on when they open up.
Well, it's early yet. Hell, it's 10:30. You know, why would you open a shop at 10:30?
People are eating prawns. What's the mussels? The bigger thing? Oysters.
Oysters.
Did you see the oysters?
Is that a red wine or a white wine when you have oysters? What goes with oysters? Red or white?
I would have thought white.
White. Okay. Just so I don't make a faux pas. And the guy that's got the corner on the iron, wrought iron work around here is making some money. Yeah, we found the market. Bad timing to get inside. There's a funeral going on. St. Louis?
Yeah, L-O-U-I-S.
Church. We strolled around the town, found the church, found the market, stopped and had a couple drinks, and on the way back we found the octopus fountain in the town center square. All in all, a very pleasant and enjoyable day. Well, Toulon from the starboard side of the ship, part of the French fleet there. I guess that's the carrier de Gaulle and some other assorted ships. And then Toulon. We're going to go off here in a minute and try to find a water ferry to get us across. The ship offer was one for 20 euros, and Mike claims you can find us a local one for 2 euros. So this should be an adventure in and of itself. Some of the street art we saw while in Toulon, it was pretty good. Ship was offering a ferry to ferry you across for 20 euros. Mike says, nah, we'll walk a little ways and find one for 2 euros. So, we'll see. I'm beginning to have my doubts. So there's the ship. The ship's ferry left from right in front of that red boat or ferry. We had to walk around and come back here, and supposedly this is the local ferry. We'll see. Oh, we made it. $2. Richard, they almost didn't let Richard on. It was no possible, impossible. Anyway, we're headed over. We strolled along the waterfront seeing the Ferris wheel, and we arrived at the National Naval Museum. Stopped in and took a tour of the museum. Fascinating. After our tour of the museum, we strolled around looking for a place to have some tapas and a place to relax. We saw some interesting scenery along the way. Find a place here for lunch. I think we can work that out. It's our little afternoon tete-a-tete before we head back to the ship. Yeah, there's a quick tour of Toulon. We made it back to the ferry, find the number 8 ferry, and head back to the ship. Quick 2-hour tour. Anyway, we're tendering here. And what a madhouse. 9 o'clock. Everybody's wanting to get off the ship. Using our lifeboats to take us ashore. So this is an adventure. Got the team with us. Oh, made it. Made it over to Ajaccio, Corsica. There's the ship out there. So the tender didn't have far to run. Of course, we got off at 9 o'clock. It was a madhouse. I'm sure after this, it'll be just every 10 or every now 20 minutes or so. It was fun. It was an experience. Just as soon as we got off, ran into the market, or a market. Looks like vegetables and cheeses and breads. Olives, look at the olives. Oh. Smoked meats, cured meats.
Smoke them.
And we're off to the museum. Napoleon Bonaparte's museum. Pastel colors, the weather-beaten colors. We found the museum. It's closed on Mondays. Guess which day we were there? What was it?
Napoleon was born in this house, 15th of August, 1769.
So it's now owned by the French state. No.
But it's for sale?
No, it's historic monument.
Property of the National. Ajaccio Cathedral. Michael's saying, come on in. Okay. Well, the outside wasn't that impressive, but the inside sure is. What's that, Napoleon Marat? Oh, is this where he's buried? Gorgeous. Well, it's Napoleon and his brothers. I guess Napoleon's in the center. They're all dressed in togas and done in a Roman style. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess that's the way they did them. They dress like Romans.
Yeah, I want a picture like Larry, Mark, Jerome. In his military time.
Yeah.
Memorial to Napoleon and his brothers, Joseph,
Lucien,
Louis, Jerome.
Hello, kids are teaching them to sail. On the way back from Corsica, we got the big ferry, the big ride. Man, that's a big ship. Just a gorgeous day here. About 80 degrees. Well, there goes the ferry we missed. And he claims that they're running every 15 minutes. So, they're actually just back and forth, 2 boats, right? Wasn't that what he said?
Two boats.
So, Ibiza just got off here at the port. There's the ship. They wanted 10 euros to do a bus ride, but that was round trip. And so, being the cheapskates we are, we figured we'd take the cheap ride, which is the ferry just outside the port, for 5 euros return trip and get a boat ride out of the deal.
Usually you got to pay for having a boat ride.
I know. It's going to be one of those Captain Ron landings. Just whoof.
Yeah. Here he is.
Here's our boat. Now there's our ship back there. And that looks interesting. Somebody's got a nice penthouse apartment there up on top. And here we are at Pescadas and Marciscos del Dia, I think.
Getting ready
Sure.
for our
Sangria. What do they say here in Spain? What's the toast?
That's German.
no, it was something like that.
Oh, okay.
Salute.
Salute. Okay. Elisa found a new favorite shop. Well, there's the start of the stairs to the old wall city. I guess that's what it is. Take a gander at that here in a minute. Well, what do you think?
Well, we hike to the wall here, and then we'll make a decision. Are we too old?
We're debating whether to hike to the church up there. Well, there's the fortifications. There's the church. Oh, about 3/4 of the way up, or 2/3. Well, we made it to the top, and it was a hike. Can you talk, Richard, or you're out of breath? There's the church. We're going to stroll over there in a minute, but it looks like a lot of stuff up here is closed, under construction. Big crane for something. Well, we made it up to the church. It's only open between 10 and 1. Of course, we're here at 3. We love strolling around Ibiza, but we had to get back to the ship for an early departure. I would think that this is it, yeah. Because
the other side of there.
Because we just walk. Where are we at?
We're here.
We're here.
Walk here, go around here. Look.
And then there's a storefront entry there. Anyway, of course the wind's going to pick up. We just walked out waiting for Richard and Carol and Mark and Elisa have some kind of tour they're going on today. Here we are in Cartagena. Boy, is that guy putting on the pounds. Anyway, we got the gang together and headed out to Cartagena. We're just going to stroll around and see the sights. We wanted to see the Roman Theater, but we stopped by there and it was pretty crowded. So having been there before, we just continued to stroll around, taking in the scenery and the atmosphere. Last day before departing in Barcelona, Mark, Elisa, and I, of course, we have to have a COVID test to get back into the U.S. within 24 hours of catching our flight. So we made reservations here at EMED. Even though it looks like IMED, they pronounce it EMED. And it went pretty. We caught a cab at the port and came up here. $20 for the cab. The test was like 40 bucks, 40 euros. And it went pretty smooth. They're just waiting for the results now. So when that comes back, we can get back to touring and enjoying the rest of the cruise. Just a little tidbit for everybody's information, as long as the U.S. keeps requiring us to have a negative COVID test before we fly into the country. Everybody else has kind of done away with it, but oh well. Everybody's masked up and waiting for our negative COVID test.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Our second time to Valencia. We just finished with our test. All of us are negative, so we can come back home. But we are city center again with the market and the stock exchange. That's a hell of a stock exchange, isn't it? And I don't know if we figured out which church that was last time or not. Okay, so I think we finally figured out it's not only the stock exchange, it's the silk exchange. Across the street from some church and right in front of another church. It's a great camera. So this is a basilica, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And a basilica is different from a cathedral, how?
Pretty much not. Basilicas can be cathedrals, and cathedrals can be basilicas.
Okay, yeah, okay.
A basilica is a certain style based on the politics of Rome. I mean, I'm talking about in Roman times. The basilicas was where the courts met. So it was like a courthouse, but then they decided that the only honest judges were bishops. So then the bishops got home in the basilica, and then that's how the church came to have basilicas. Because all the other judges were basically corrupt in Roman times.
So politics.
That's also why bishops wear purple, because purple is the emperor's color. And the emperor said, if you guys are honest, you get to wear purple. And that's why bishops wear purple.
Okay. We got it.
Thank you, sir.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I think wasn't the dye, purple dye was harder to get or something?
Yes.
More expensive.
It came from tiny shellfish,
Yeah.
and you had to have about a ton of shellfish for about an ounce of dye. I mean, it was, yeah. Purple was a very rare and expensive
Oh gosh,
colour.
now we got behind tour group 78.
Uh-oh. Oh, we made it into the silk exchange / stock market. And look down before you look up. Yeah. They're riding around the wall. Have no clue what it says, but it's impressive. Let's see, 6 foot, 60 foot maybe. What do you figure, up to the top, 60, 70 feet? Easy. Now that's some woodwork. This floor looks 3D. And wait till you see the ceiling.
After visiting the Silk Exchange, we all headed back to the ship for our final evening. The next morning we were in Barcelona. The cruise is over, but I had a great time and met some wonderful people. We'll be taking a camping trip to Glacier National Park soon, and then in July we're off to the Arctic Circle on Jewel of the Seas. See you soon.